And I'd say, because I can. How many people can do that? You know, at some point in time, it's going to be about what were you willing to do to make a difference, to have an impact? You know, I see stuff going on in this world today. I don't like what I'm seeing. I tell you right now, I'm not very happy with our president at all. You know, policy-wise, however, I don't think everything he's doing is wrong, but I think his decorum and his behavior is deplorable because it's childish and it's divisive and it serves to keep our country divided and apart instead of bringing us together. Having said that, that doesn't mean he was wrong about the borders being closed because the previous administration should have never opened it. It doesn't mean that he's wrong about the economy when the NASDAQ is showing or S&P 500 is showing that the numbers are up or the economy is at, unemployment is at 4% and stuff like this. You see stuff, or the tariff wars are showing that 15 trillion in pledges have been made to American businesses or whatever. We don't know if that's going to end up being true. But based on what we're seeing thus far, we're not in an awful place. And so you have to be able to be fair-minded and give credit where credit is due. Some people look at me and they say, why do I come at Democrats like that? Because I feel like black folks have been played like suckers. You come in 1964, you put the Voting Rights Act into place, and what does Lyndon B. Johnson get quoted as saying? He said, we sit up there and pass this legislation, the Negroes will be voting for us for the next 200 years. Well, it's about 60 plus. Evidently, he was right, because what has happened? We ain't even talking policies. You look at Trump behavior, and if you think about voting that way, you a sellout. Well, here's the problem with that. So I gotta go this way, right? Remember that identity politics? You're supposed to be for us, right? You wanna focus on immigration. You wanna focus on the borders, right? You wanna focus on the LGBTQ plus community, right? Including transgenders, right? Well, hello, what about the black folks that put y'all in this position all of these years? What about us? Care about us? Care about our issues? Does it matter to you what we going through? Because it doesn't seem to matter. You talk about identity politics. Some dude, Liam Thomas, I believe that was his name, that was at the University of Pennsylvania. When you're a man, you're 400th in the world in swimming. And then you decide that you're going to change your gender or whatever, and you number one. Well, by doing so, is that fair to women? But we couldn't talk about that at that particular time because of the people who were in office and how if you challenge these issues, you could end up getting yourself fired. I have a problem with that. It's bigger than that. We got the whole social justice movement. Everybody talking about the aftermath of George Floyd's killing, because it was murder. Make no mistake about it. That cock, Derek Chauvin, I hope your ass rot in jail. Okay, he belongs in jail because he's a cold-blooded murderer as far as I'm concerned. Here's the flip side to all of that, though. We were talking about, we were marching in the streets, we were protesting, we were doing all of this, and then you had the athletes locking arms, locking arms, locking arms. Well, I'm seeing lobbyists on Capitol Hill manipulating politicians every single day, influencing legislation. Instead of locking arms, why don't you get your money together, because you got it, and make sure you develop your own lobbyist and get them to put forth legislation to address police brutality, which is what you said was the primary objective of the protest.